Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. I see some familiar names in the audience. Welcome back. We're happy to have so many people here joining us today for our session. This is our third in our series of 3 spring webinars. So welcome back and welcome to those of you who are here for the first time. Today, we are focusing on NewsBank's exclusive and ever-growing Life in America resources. We'll be introducing today the latest in the series. It's the very timely resource, Immigrant Life in America. We're excited to get to that. My name is Catherine Bergerson. I'm the Vice President of Marketing at NewsBank. I'll be joined by my colleague, Matt Stawicki. India Bradford Jones is working behind the scenes to keep things running smoothly for us. So just to let you know, as we get started here, the session is being recorded. We'll send out a copy of the presentation following today's event. Quickly, on our agenda today, an overview of our collection, what it includes, what makes Life in America resources so unique. Again, we'll introduce you to Immigrant Life in America, very, very relevant. I know people are excited about that one, and we've gotten some interest and people want to learn more. Also, we'll show you how to search in order to pinpoint the information that's most relevant to your area of interest. And then we'll share some engagement strategies from schools and teachers. We call it Learn from Librarians, and we've got some ideas of how to build visibility for your Life in America resources. We also have time for questions, so you can use the question icon at any point to submit. We'll pause a few times, answer as many as we can. If there's anything we don't get to, we do commit to following up with you afterwards. Yeah, if you could just take a quick look at the icon section, you should see them probably on the left side of your screen. You'll also see a document or handout icon. You can download the presentation today. That has all of the links to what we talk about, as well as our contact information, so you can easily get in touch with us, and you can download those at any time during the session here today. A bit of background about NewsBank. We are the largest news aggregator in the world, bringing you, your teachers, your students, credible, responsibly sourced news and information, including many resources that are unique to NewsBank. They come from all around the world, so you can be sure that you are getting credible, vetted, global sources 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from any device, which means they can be accessed in your media center, libraries, classrooms. The students are at home or teachers are at home, remotely, wherever your users connect. So NewsBank is very proud to have produced our Life in America collection. We've created this database covering in really deep detail this important thread of the history of Americas and the United States, and it's designed in a way that helps students, that's accessible and helpful for their studies. So I'm going to turn it over now to my colleague, Matt Stawicki. He is the Vice President of Sales for K12 schools and community colleges, and he is going to walk us through Life in America 2026. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Catherine, and thank you for that gracious introduction. So let me get my, share my screen here, make sure that comes up okay. All right, everybody see my screen okay?
I do.
All right, great, great. So, yeah, Life in America. We started Life in America way back when, about 4 years ago with Black Life in America. We now have a series of 5 Life in America collections. They are built in a different way than most databases. Instead of including the entire newspaper, like we do in Access World News and in our historical newspaper packages, what we've done with this series is we've honed in on these specific ethnic areas. So we've got Black Life in America, Hispanic Life in America, Asian Life in America, Indigenous Life in America, and our newest collection that was just released, Immigrant Life in America. And what we've done is we've met with historians, academia, curriculum people to find out what exactly are you looking for around these specific areas of study. We've then built algorithms that would search our database. And when I say our database, I mean our entire vault. NewsBank has a division called Redex. Redex is the largest purveyor of historical content. So all of this historical data from the 1700s all the way through to roughly 2000 is attacking our historical side of the fence. And then we've got our current database, Access World News, which many of you I'm sure are familiar with. Well, that's all of our current data. So we run these algorithms against all of this data every single day. It gets refreshed. So the database is constantly being updated. There are over 21,000 sources being pulled in from Black Life in America. And then the smallest collection is over 18,000. So the amount of information that's being pulled and sources that are being searched is just tremendous. And it continues to grow because the data is being updated each and every day. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a key word search bar here where I can search pretty much anything I want. So example of it, if I wanted to search the DREAM Act for immigration, I can do so. Now, I'm sure most of you are familiar with Access World News, and you'll note when I search the DREAM Act, okay, I've got full text results. I've got results in image edition, so we're loading everything. The filters down the sidebar for keyword searching automatically default to the newest, but I can re-sort my data and go to the oldest first if I wish, which brings me all the way back to 1846, and I can see it picked up the word dream right here, DREAM Act here from 1850. Or we can do best match, which will run an algorithm for us and try and determine, does my search term land in the title of the article? Okay, how many times in the first paragraph? Now, when you do that, because we've got historical content, your best match will typically show up with a lot of full text articles instead of image edition, because image edition doesn't have all that metadata behind it. Okay, you can see here we've got our date filters where I can use my slide bar, 1960 to present, okay, to change the date that I'm pulling the data from. I've got my ad hoc dates that I can put in. So I can put in multiple years. I can say past 2 days and so on. Okay. I've got my results by year, and I can click the More Options tab. And here's my results by year. Okay. I've got my source types. So it's not just newspapers, it's audio, professional blogs, college and university newspapers, journals and magazines, newspaper newswires, transcripts, video, web-only content. More options allows me to choose multiples, for example, and hit apply, okay? If I choose a filter that I don't like or didn't get the results I wanted, just like Access World News, filters are at the top, or they're with the coinciding filter type, okay? We can go to specific source names. The more options would allow you to freeform. Example, USA Today. I can scroll down and find USA Today and just look at my results within the USA Today. So you can go to specific source types. There are multiple locations, needless to say, because we are pulling content from around the world. So you can literally sort your data by continent, country, region, state, province, or city. Okay, so example is if I wanted content just from New York, okay, I could simply go here and I typed in new, and here we go, apply. I've got content just from New York. Okay, and you can see multiple languages showing up as well. Okay, And again, filters are at the top or with the coinciding filter types. So if I don't like what I've gotten, I simply click, and get rid of them all. Okay. We've got multiple languages. So you can see here with this search, I've got 7 different languages. So I can hone in on the Spanish content if I wish and hit apply. And that will literally bring me into that Spanish content. Now you may get English content as well. And here's a good example. El Nuevo Herald. That's the Miami Herald. We get that in multiple languages from them. So we get our English and our Spanish there. Okay. And then you've got your eras in history. So these are the eras in history, and I'm going to show you more about that. And you've got your presidential eras. And in some cases, we have even clipped out article types. Okay, but that's not too common, so I wouldn't rely on the article type as one of my strong filters. Okay, so very easy to use your searches, and I will be going into content. Okay, now one of the keys to this database is, and all of the databases are, the eras in history. It literally, it's basically a timeline, right? That gives you a pathway to discovery. It's going to bring you to content that most likely you are looking for around this specific subject area. So example is if I wanted to go into notable people from the Soviet adoptions and the birthism, you'll see here. Okay, so Martina Navratilova. Click the search and you'll see here it runs a search. I've got it already filtered by date and I've got a set of results. Okay, now these are full text articles here because of the time period that I'm in. When I click into that, you'll see I've got tools for the user, just like we have in Access World News. You can increase the text size. I can create the citation, export it to EasyBib, RefWorks, or Noodle Tools. Here, for example, is your MLA 9 citation. I can email this to someone. Who am I sending it to? From me, a random message. Now, when you email it, if it's a full text article, they'll actually get this article and be able to read it right off of their phone, on their tablet, PC, and they don't have to be authorized, but they just cannot peruse the database. They would be able to use this one article. You can print and include the citation. You can download this to Google or to a PDF. This is a Doro link that always opens to this article. So when I copy this, I could email it to a teacher, a student, and when they get it, they click on it, it always opens to this. You can put it into a lesson plan if you wish. You've got your Google Classroom, where if I were logged into Google, I would be able to drop that right down into a lesson plan. And I've got my text to talk, which will highlight the words and read right along with it. I realize you probably can't hear that, but you get the general idea. Okay, so that's your full text articles. Okay, now if I go into something older, let's go into Citizenship and Naturalization, the Civil Rights Act. Okay, you'll note here, this is more historical data right now, right? Okay, from 1866. So I've got image edition. Okay, so just like the image editions in Access World News and your historical newspapers, if I click on that search, it is highlighting my search terms. Okay, and then I've got my tools for the user again, so I can search the page or the issue for more content. Now, the big difference I said is we're running an algorithm. So you'll note here, I only have 2 pages of this newspaper, the Illustrated New Age from 1866 loaded. Okay, we don't load the entire newspaper now. We're only loading the information that is relevant. Okay, information on where did this come from? Page 1 of the Illustrated New Age. Again, my citation tool, my email function. Now, when you email this, it's going to send a link that they would have to click on to open. My clip function. So maybe I want to cut out a piece of this article. So example is when I select that clip, it allows me to size, okay, and grab whatever I want, all right? And now I can print it, download it to a PDF, or save it to Google. Okay, if I download it, for example, I can include that citation right away, and this will clip it directly off of this page for me, create a nice clean PDF that I can now turn in with my one-page essay that I had to do. Okay, so you can see very clean, and the citation is underneath. All right, again, we can print it, we can download it, the Doro link to this page, your Google Classroom, and then again, I've only got 2 pages loaded, so that's all I can look at. Okay. I click back on NewsBank, that brings me back to the timeline. Now, all of these databases are created identical. As you can see, if I go to Indigenous Life, we've got the timeline, that pathway to discovery, as I call it. Asian Life, okay, Hispanic Life, Black Life. So they're all built exactly the same way with the exact same filters and so on. Now, one of the nice parts about all of these are, example, if I go into Zoot Suits and West Side Story, and maybe I want to get information, on West Side Story. Well, I can run that search and get the information on West Side Story, okay? But this is from 1962, the original work that did win Academy Awards. Well, maybe I want to take a look at the remake. With all of these searches you see here, I just got rid of that date. You can modify these searches and re-hit search, and now I'm going to get a new set of results where now I can compare the remake of West Side Story to the original. So just a great, great way to use the database, okay? And then one last thing I will definitely show you on all of the databases is this learn more about the database link. When you click this link, that will open up. So here is information specifically around Hispanic life in America. We're talking about some of the topics that are in there, okay? Some of the organizations, how to use it, and so on. So it's a great help function, and you'll find that in all of the databases, as you'll see. There's the one for Indigenous life, okay? So very, very easy to use. And again, those eras in history, that timeline, that really gets you right to where you need to be. Are there any questions you might have around the Life in America series?
Sure, thank you, Matt. Yes, let's pause here and actually showing some of those frequently asked questions that might answer a few that we have. But we do, let's see. If there's a suggested search I'm looking for an assignment and I don't see it, how do I contact you?
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. So that helps us build the database actually. So if you are looking for a topic, an example, I'm just going to scroll down here and, maybe it's in Indian citizenship and notable people. So it's a person you're looking for. Okay. Or it's something in this science and technology area. Okay. If you let us know what that specific topic is, and you can do that multiple ways. You've got share feedback button here, or you can email it to customer service or your sales executive. Let us know what that topic is. We will then look, number one, do we have the content to support that topic? Does it make sense to add it? And if we get yeses on both of those, we will add them. I can tell you right now, every time we've got a suggestion, I've never seen us not have the content, and I've never seen us not add it. And it's a great way to add content because if you need it, somebody else probably needs it too.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly right. Yeah, so please speak up. If there's something that you're interested in, we want to know. Another good question here. If I already have Black Life in America, how do I add the others?
Okay, great question, great question. So with the release of Immigrant Life in America. What we have decided to do is create what we call Life in America 2026. So that is our full-blown collection. It includes all 5 of these now. They're sold as a package, so we're not selling them individually anymore. And again, contact your sales executive, let them know you'd be interested in upgrading to the full package, which would allow you to get all 5 of these.
Wonderful, thank you. And thank you to all of you for those questions. We'll pause again, so keep them coming. Open up that icon and type your questions in there. Now that you know more about the resources, and as Matt showed how to pinpoint the information, we want to help you get it into the hands of your colleagues, teachers, and students. We love to hear from you and learn from you, just like Matt said about, what topics are you interested in? We like to know how you use these resources. So I've collected some feedback from some of our customers about how they build awareness and engagement. We call it Learn from Librarians, and I thought I'd share some of those examples today. I'm going to start with Sarah Weil. She's with the Putney School in Vermont, and I love her testimonial because it touches on our #1 question that we get, which is, how are you different from Google? And here's what she says. Take a look at your screen. She says, when students use Google, they find articles they need, but they're behind a paywall. NewsBank databases are vetted, real resources that save students critical time and offer content that has already been paid for. And I think there's several really important points here within this. So Google is an ad platform, not a primary source. So many of the articles that are in Google are behind paywalls. And I looked this up actually right before the session. According to a Pew Research study, more than 50% of newspaper articles are behind paywalls. And when we're talking about historical newspaper articles, that percentage increases significantly. Again, NewsBank databases, they're vetted and real resources. And as she says, yes, we have a professional editorial team. We also have a rights and permissions team that work directly with our publishers. And when she mentions that the content has already been paid for, yes, the school and district has a subscription, but also NewsBank has a contract and agreement with our publishers. So we are not just scraping the web for any free content that's out there. Our content is responsibly sourced, it's fair to the publishers, it protects their intellectual property, as well as providing that reliable primary resource to your teachers and students. So thank you very much, Sarah and the Putney School, for sharing your experience with us. Moving on to building awareness. One of the best ways to build awareness is to build up your online or web presence for your school or for your library. This is an example I want to share from a school in Episcopal, Texas. And I share the story because we connected with the new director of their media center, and she said she needed help with discoverability. And of course, if people don't know about the resource or how to access it, they just aren't going to use it. So she worked with our customer success team who helped build their library's webpage. You can see here, there's graphics and there's links to all sorts of resources. Many of NewsBanks are here, but also other resources. And they were able to create an area for history and cultural studies, an area for news and global studies, as well as several others. And the school reported back to us that their access to NewsBank went up more than 200% in the following 2 months of setting this up. So we would be happy to help you too. If you have some ideas or would like some support to help build up your web presence, just let us know, because we understand the more places that you can add those links, the more likely it is that people will discover and use them. Next up, we have social media made easy. We have ready-to-use write-ups and graphics about each resource. You can copy and paste them into the platforms that you use. Also, we've heard from several of you that these make a great addition to newsletters, internal staff emails, or communications, just to keep people up to date, as a refresher or let them know what's new. Moving on to the next slide, you can see I'm going to share a couple of examples of how others use these write-ups. So they're brief, and you can either take what we have written in our graphics and use them as is, or edit them and make them more customized to your school or district. You can see several examples right here. These include a resource spotlight. And so this was on social media, but it was easily added into an e-newsletter or even a mini blog on the library's webpage, which I thought was a really smart idea and way to reuse the content in multiple places. Another idea that we see here is using these resources to promote programs during Black History Month, Hispanic Heritage Month, Indigenous Peoples Day. It is extremely timely and relevant. It's a great way to take advantage of the resources. It will support your assignments and your programs around these months and these celebrations. And it's a perfect opportunity to use primary source materials on whatever the topic is that you're looking at. Perhaps it's something that's specific and close to your community. Many teachers, I love this, tell us that they feel like the articles provide a real world experience and more well-rounded, particularly when it comes to sharing historical information and tying that past to the present. When they show the historical archives, it really gets people talking and can be a conversation starter. So we certainly recommend using those historical archives and pulling those up into today's conversations. And I'd like to show you one more thing. All of this can be found on our newsbank.com, on our website, in our Marketing and Resource Center. We have the ready-to-use social media posts. We have bookmarks you can print out, search tips, and one of the most popular items other than our social media posts are short video tutorials. We have links to Black Life in America, Hispanic Life in America, all of the Life in America resources. We have short tutorials that we encourage you, please add them to your website, put them near your resource. If you have a YouTube page, use them on social media to engage. They are all on our Marketing and Resource Center on newsbank.com. And if you aren't the communications person for your school or your district, please consider sending this information on to whomever puts together the staff newsletters or the district newsletters or updates. They may find some of the information valuable in there. So I am going to pause one more time for questions. And Matt, if you are available, I do see a question. This is a great one. Are there plans for additional Life in America topics?
Oh, that's a great question. And actually, yes, we are working on one right now around labor. So that will be available coming in around the July time period. So it will be Labor in America, and then there are others in the works where we're looking at content to see if we can support those other topic areas. If you have suggestions for us, please send them in.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a great question. So Labor in America targeted for July, ready for the fall semester. Also great for as we celebrate the 250th anniversary of America. So that's exciting. Another question about social media posts and how do I get those? I can take that one, Matt. If you download this presentation, there's a link to our resource center. You can download the social media posts there, or also we have a sign up we do monthly social media posts. Now these are for all NewsBank products. It covers Access World News, America's historical newspapers. Each month we do a fresh set of social media posts that you may want to use to promote other articles, or there's like days of the month that we're celebrating, or particular holidays that may be coming up. So if you download the presentation, there's a link to the social media ready to use signups there, and we certainly encourage you to use that. If you can't find it, just let us know and I'll be happy to send a link over to you. Well, thank you for those questions. If something comes up after this session or you think of something later, we are here for you. So please reach out and we'll get in contact with you. Up next, at the beginning, I mentioned that today was part of our spring series of webinars of what's new in 2026. Thank you to those of you who've been able to join all three. If you missed one or want to go back and review them, they are all posted on our website. So we encourage you to go back and share. You will get a copy of today's session in your follow-up email. If you registered, you'll get a copy of today's. Otherwise, they are on our website. You know, the big takeaway this year from all of NewsBank and our collections is content. We are offering more content across more places, more languages, and in more formats. Blogs, transcripts, radio transcripts, the ASCII, and our PDF image edition. So that coverage has really strengthened geographically, regionally, hyper-local, and globally. And that really matters right now as libraries and media centers are doing more than ever to provide access. And we understand that that emphasis on student success and critical thinking and encouraging informed conversations. And we know that when students are working on projects, they need a resource that's credible, deep, and discoverable. And I really can't think of a resource that serves more curricular areas than the NewsBank resources. So thank you. Thank you for being here today. This presentation is just one step in our commitment to working with you. Take a quick look at the slide here. Again, if you download the document in the handout section, you can link to everything we talked about right here. We make it easy for you to refer back in the future. So when you're thinking about something, you can just link right to it or shoot us an email and we'll help you find what you're looking for. We hope you found this session valuable and that you have some actionable ways to reach out to teachers and students right away. As you log out, you'll see a brief survey. Please take a moment, let us know what you thought about today and how we can improve in the future. On behalf of the NewsBank team, we appreciate your time and thank you for sharing part of your day with us. Goodbye.